Surfside Beach and Horry County police officers are safely back in their homes tonight after a scary situation earlier today. It was a big day for the Hilton Head Island Airport. They celebrated the very first United Airlines flight landing from D.C. Good morning, I'm Madeline Montgomery. The time now is 8:27. Happening today, Art in the Park is back. What a tough life you lead, Matt. First Hippie Fest, now Spring Carnival. And here I am inside. Students at the University of South Carolina are also stunned by what happened to Josephson. Many of them are still trying to come to grips with it all. An emu has escaped in New York.
Was not expecting that.
I know.
I thought it was a dog.
It's an emu. Senator Brad Hutto says the state is, quote, spending a lot of extra money on education. The suspect and 4 other inmates escaped the North Carolina jail last week by making a hole in an exercise yard fence.
I think you go to the beach every day.
I do. I have an addiction. But when you live at the beach, why not go to the beach?
Why not go to the beach?
One woman's last wish, a white Christmas. And even though there's no snow coming to the Grand Strand, snow did come to Embrace Hospice in Myrtle Beach. Horry County police just cleared the scene in Conway tonight after 2 bodies were found in a Conway neighborhood today. ABC 15's Devon Romming shows us what we know so far. We have more answers about a body found this morning in Socastee off of Peachtree Road. Police say a pedestrian was hit August 12th by a truck, and tonight, as ABC 15's Taggart Houck shows us, the teenage boy who found the body is still shaken. The South Carolina Department of Transportation says the person was hit after midnight, and the coroner's office has not released any information on the identity of the victim. A week of violence in South Carolina, and the Horry County Police Department are voicing their concerns. It all started with an attempted bank robbery in Green Sea on Wednesday. Horry County Police Chief Joseph Hill posted this statement on their Facebook page. It reads in part, "These law enforcement officers have been working around the clock, completely dedicated to the laser-focused mission of apprehending the responsible parties. Both local and federal law enforcement are actively investigating." Today, the Grand Strand Humane Society hosted a Clear the Shelter event. All the fees for adopting a pet today were waived, and you still have a chance to get out there and grab your forever friend. This is a national event that's taking place today at over 1,000 nationwide shelters to help these animals, and the event has been going on since 2015. We spoke to some adopters today at the event about why it's so important to clear the shelters. So far, 32 total animals have been adopted. 14 of those animals were cats. Nationally, over 72,000 animals have been given homes today. A journey to independence. It's happening for a group of special needs individuals in Myrtle Beach. The folks at SOS Healthcare specialize in working with adults with autism. Today, they held their first training workshop to help get a group of special needs individuals ready to move into their own homes. The organization teaches things like cooking, laundry, and how to stay safe when living alone. One person we spoke with says he's looking forward to taking this big step towards independence. SOS Healthcare plans to break ground on the Oak Tree Farm facilities off of Highway 501 in Conway in October. The facility will house 90 people living with disabilities. ABC 15 is your back-to-school station, and state health officials say the number of South Carolina parents choosing not to vaccinate their kids is rising. DHEC reports show over the past 4 years, parents who chose not to get their kids vaccinated grew by nearly 4,000. That number is for religious reasons. DHEC says religious or medical exemptions against the 6 vaccinations for school-age children are allowed. Children are still encouraged to get vaccinated if a disease outbreak were to occur. Non-vaccinated children would have to miss school. Hundreds of students moved into Francis Marion University today. One of those students is freshman Carly Major. Major is a nursing student. Over 200 volunteers helped the nearly 500 new students move in. Major chose FMU to follow in her family footsteps, and she's rooming with her best friend. Major is from Loris and plans to be a nurse practitioner after graduating. Dozens of kids in the PD got new backpacks today. The Weed and Seed after-school program in Florence gave away 150 backpacks. Kids like Beverly Thomas's son, who's in 6th grade at Timrod Elementary School, in the after-school learning center and summer program. The kids got pizza and popcorn along with the backpacks. Thomas says the organization helps her all the time, and today is just another example.
It's a good thing to have for these children because everyone needs a helping hand sometime or another, and why not, give the kids everything that they need for school to get them started on a good head start.
All the backpacks were donated by leaders in the neighborhood. A 10th grade student's father in Oklahoma says his daughter was degraded at school when she was forced to get on her knees and measure her skirt from the floor up. The school student handbook says skirts or dresses that are any shorter than 6 inches above the knee are not allowed. The father says his daughter is tall and thin with long legs. He says her clothes fit differently than someone who's shorter or heavier. He adds they should change the one-size-fits-all policy. Around the nation's tonight, a date has been set for Aretha Franklin's funeral. A public viewing will be held on August 28th and 29th at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History in Detroit. Funeral services will follow at 10 a.m. Friday, August 31st at Detroit's Greater Grace Temple, and that will be for family and close friends. Organizers are also working on a musical tribute to Franklin featuring major recording artists. Franklin died Thursday after a battle with pancreatic cancer. She was 76 years old. The teenager accused of pushing a friend off of a bridge in Washington state is now charged with reckless endangerment. 18-year-old Taylor Smith admitted she pushed Jordan Helgerson off the bridge, but alleges she was just trying to help her overcome her fear. The Clark County Sheriff's Office determined she created a substantial risk of death and caused serious physical injury. 16-year-old Jordan Holgerson recovered at the hospital after falling 50 feet into the water. Officials say she broke 6 ribs, punctured a lung, and had air bubbles in her chest. The United Nations flag is lowered today after the passing of Kofi Annan. Annan was the first black African to lead the United Nations. He was born in Ghana in 1938 and served as the 7th UN Secretary General from 1997 to 2006. He was surrounded by his wife and 3 children when he died this morning after a short illness. The Nobel Peace Prize winner was 80 years old. A pregnant North Carolina mother and her 2 daughters killed. The suspected murderer, her husband. Hear from her friends who say she was taken too soon.